Hello everyone, my name is Orca and today I'm going to talk about the rank 11 Empire destroyer called Brave and its characteristics. I'm going to skip the details that I covered in my previous videos about rank 8 destroyers, intros and stuff like that, and I'm going to go straight to the point. By the time you get to the Brave, you should be able to realize the general pros and cons of the Empire ship line. So generally speaking, it's all about having less energy, less shields, while also having more hull points and more damage output. The main reason why I favor the Brave over any other destroyer is mainly its design. It's a submarine in a space game. It reminds me of the battleship Yamato that I watched a few years ago. It's just cool looking. It's very tough in battles and it can dish out so much damage. You just sit back and pretty much relax the whole game while also keeping in check your hull points. And that's the whole deal of the ship. Let's talk about the build. So, building the Brave. One thing you have to keep in mind is no matter how tough your Brave is, no matter how good you are, if you happen to overextend in a battle and if you make a minor mistake or something, you will get so bashed that even this kind of a ship won't help you out. Having a Brave doesn't mean you're in some kind of a god mode that nobody can hurt you and stuff like that. The main issue with the Brave is people get to be overconfident that they have too much hull points and nobody can hurt them and they can survive anything. Well, that's kind of wrong. Basically, don't get cocky with this ship, otherwise you will get killed easily. There's so many ways to kill a destroyer and you probably don't wanna experience all the ways. I would like to point out a few things. Don't bother with the energy, don't bother with maneuverability, speed and other stats like that, and especially don't bother with the shields. You just invest too much and you will lose more than you will gain. The very core of how to play a Brave lies in its main weaponry. So the main weaponry is something you should invest in, and the hull points. That's the whole basics of having a Brave and playing a Brave. Of course, that this doesn't mean that this is the only way to play the Brave. I'm just talking about the basics of mastering this ship, of learning how to use its features to your benefit and to your general playstyle you are developing with playing this ship. Now let's go over the details. This is my all-time favorite Brave build. It's basically a mid to close range brawler, and if you don't have any clue how to build the Brave, I suggest to start with this build and you should be able to tell if you need any change whatsoever. And it's basically all on alpha damage, and you can change that by just rearranging a few slots, going for more CPU slots for the extra critical, for instance, or whatever you have in your mind. You can basically just develop your own playstyle, your own build, just trying out this build, and you should be good to go. Let's go over the passive modifiers real quick. I have an engine modifier that sole purpose of having one is to not get stuck in the spawn point because the ship is too slow, and by the time I get to the beacon or get to the actual fight, well, the game's kinda over because I'm too slow. So I need that extra bit of speed. As for the capacitor, I kinda went for more damage, but in the process I kinda sacrificed my regeneration speed, which I try to level it out with the voltage regulator. And together with the combat shield generator, it should be okay because I'm not planning on using the active modules pretty much at all. And as for the hull, depending on which bonuses you pick, you can modify your hull slots however you want to, so it's totally up to you. This is how I made it, and I'm going to show the crew implants as well. So this is pretty much it for the hull. It's self-explanatory. As for the CPU, I went for the electronic guidance solely because I went with the Meson cannon. I just love the Meson cannon. And by the way, you can see here it has a nice DPS and I just love it for it. As for the active modules, nothing is set in stone, so you can use whatever you want to use. The main thing is that you'll probably need the wormhole projector because it's going to be your main source of moving around because the ship is really slow. And the main reason why I chose these active modules is mainly because the blaster turret helps me slow down the targets, which I can later on shoot down with the Mesons. And the gravitational lens helps me with the big and slow targets, while the Tempest pretty much helps me with, well, huge fights where I can just lock on as many people as I can and just shoot away and hope for the best. So this build is pretty much all about main weapon damage and minimal active module usage, so it kind of makes it really efficient and it plays out the strengths of this ship really well without losing too much in other aspects of, well, general shipbuilding or general stats. Let's go over the crew implants. So since we are talking about the rank 11 destroyer, it only uses rank 11 implants and below, and the rank 15 implants because they are not rank related. The crew implants are kind of self-explanatory, so I'm gonna go over them real quick. So the rank 1 is all about hull resistance increase. The rank 2 is all about main weapon spread decrease and control inhibiting effects. The rank 3 is all about increasing shield resistances, even though I'm not using any shields for this build. I'm not used to using shields on Brave, so I at least prefer having positive resistances on my Brave. As for the rank 4, it's not very useful because it doesn't change any value of any kind in the repair drones and static shields, so I hope this changes in the future. Rank 5 is all about increasing ship rotation, and you need that in excess amount with destroyers in general. Rank 6 implant is all about increasing weapon damage, and the rank 7 is all about decreasing afterburner energy usage, which is really helpful with the Brave. As for the rank 8, it's kind of interesting in my point because it helps me reduce the recharge time for the multi-purpose modules, and the only multi-purpose module I'm using is the blaster turret, so it gets me more active time on that turret than I would usually get. The rank 9 implant is really important because it grants hull and shield resistances for each lock-on you have on yourself, and it gets really helpful when brawling. As for the rank 10 implant, it's all about reducing the energy consumption, which is really helpful with the Brave. As for the rank 11, it's all about increasing rate of fire, which comes in handy with the Mesons, and it's really fun to have it installed. As for the rank 15 implants, you can choose whatever you want. I went for the Owl 2. So to wrap this up, I'm gonna go to the refit menu, and here you will see the special modules and the level 4 and level 8 bonuses. As I mentioned before, the rank 11 destroyer special modules are the same modules as seen in rank 8 destroyers, so there's nothing more to tell about them. Naturally, I went for the Empire Energy Router with the Brave. As for the level 4 bonuses, I chose extra EM damage increase because I will get more likely hit by a photon emitter than anything else. Plus there's an awful amount of G-Tardu weapons in store, so it's very good to choose EM at this time. And as for the level 8 bonuses, it's pretty much obvious. I'm gonna go for the energy drain because this is a Brave, an Empire ship with a lot of deficit in terms of energy. So this is pretty much the bonuses, the special module, and the building menu. You will always be able to get back to it if you don't like your build, to redo it completely to your liking. So if you have built the ship like I suggested, you'll end up with these kind of stats as shown here. They are base stats altered with modifiers and some crew settings. The other crew settings are triggered by a specific mechanism, so everything you see here can be even better in battle. So next up will be the playstyle. Basically, playing this kind of a build requires you to switch the special module just as the same as you would do with the guard, but with different effects in mind. So when you're moving, you should probably use this extra speed, and when you're fighting, always remember to use the static shields, switch to the damage mode, and just go on and try your best in terms of killing your enemy.
Enemy ship destroyed. Warning, incoming missile.
Enemy neutralized. The sector
And
is
that's pretty
now
much
under
it.
our control.
So to sum it up, you use the special module just as much as you would use the special module on the guard, switching back and forth. So when you're on the move, use the extra speed. When you're fighting, use the extra damage together with the static shields. And when you're not required to move nor fight, switch over to the shield regen mode so you can get that extra shield back in no time and you are ready for the next fight. So this is pretty much it for the Brave. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to my channel. If you have any requests or questions, leave it down in the comment section below. And that's pretty much it. See you again on the next destroyer.